Welcome back. Last few weeks, recently, the Africa Cup of Nations has been in the news, footballing wise, sporting wise, and there's been a lot of criticism of a lot of the managers and some of the journalists around the games. Um, what I would like to say is this tournament is essentially what what Qatar 2022 will be like, because it's in the winter, and just like in the there'll be no Premier League games next year, this time next year. With the Africa Cup of Nations, we could do something similar. So there's no excuse of it's interrupting our games. So let's put it to a side and pretend that it's a small tournament. Also, with Jurgen Klopp, he in an interview he said something along the lines of, there's a small tournament happening somewhere in a few weeks for a few weeks. And although the way he said it, and maybe you can sort of believe him that he was just saying it as in, just in the as an expression, or just a small tournament happening. But if it wouldn't have been said about the Euros or the World Cup or the Copa America or any other big tournament, and furthermore, the excuse of the Euros and the World Cup and Copa America and wherever else is after the season, so it doesn't interrupt the season, so that's why nobody says anything about it or questions it. Well, then in that case, then let's stop the season, play the African games, and then continue, because that's exactly what's going to happen when the World Cup is happening in Qatar. Because what you're going to do, you're going to stop the season and then play, because it's not happening in the summer. So if you can do it with Qatar, stop the season, play the games, then carry on the season, then do the same with the Africa Cup of Nations if it's so much of a concern that your players are going away. Furthermore, what Ian Wright was saying, that it's not given the same respect as other tournaments, and the fact that players like Haller, the player that used to play for West Ham, he was asked, is he going to be going to the Africa Cup of Nations, and he answered that he is, and he was quite baffled that someone's asking, are you going to go to an international game, when he doesn't usually ask, and it's not asked to other players who aren't African. And lastly, I just want to say that without the African players, a lot of the leagues, not just the Premier League, a lot of the leagues around the world wouldn't be as good as they are, and undermining them is just showing how we've still got a lot of work to do. And you can do all your anti-racism, kick it out, and all of these campaigns, but when you're indirectly making remarks like this, isn't helping anyone. And in that case, then if it's such a big deal, then what are you going to do? Are you going to stop buying African players because you're going to think, if I buy an African player, then I won't be able to use him for about 4 weeks? Then what's the next step? Is that the state we'll come to? And I think managers and journalists and people need to take a look at themselves.